What's up, everybody? This is a response video to the OTRS, mostly OTRSCentral Q A question number 9. I want to thank you guys first of all for answering my question at the end of Q&A 9. I mean, I understand, like you said, I'm one of those people that kind of understand that it takes time for you guys to get to the questions because you do like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 at most, maybe 4 at most, I should say, Q&As in a day. Maybe 3, I don't know. But the questions that I do hear you guys answer, I do kind of get a kick out of too. And I did send you guys another question, actually 2 questions, along with an apology, Jeff Shiegel, for that Dan Gable question about you-know-who. And speaking of which, I'm going to talk about that too. But one question somebody brought up to you guys that you answered was about AJ Styles going to WWE. Now, personally, from experience, and I'm pretty sure you guys have gotten that same experience, I don't know if you have. Man, I'm hoping you guys have. But honestly, now I don't know if this was in question 10, Q&A 10 or Q&A 9 or something like that, but one of the questions I heard you guys talk about in one of those 2 videos, one of those 2 Q&A videos was, one of the questions you answered was about AJ Styles possibly jumping to WWE, and quite honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I do see that eventually happening, but I don't see it happening for quite some time though. I know for the past 11 years people have been saying, there have been fans going like, please AJ, leave TNA, go to WWE. And again, I understand that completely. I understand fans want AJ to go to WWE, and I get that. And like I said, there are those that are hoping for that. But here's the thing. AJ has been established with TNA since the beginning, and essentially he's one of the faces, if not the face of the company, and if not the franchise of the company. Now, what they're doing with him right now, we have no idea. I mean, right now he's off television. He's been off for a couple months. For all we know, he could be healing up from an injury. For all we know, he could end up being the leader of one of the higher powers of Aces and Eights. We don't know. Or he could be making maybe for a triumphant return. We don't know what they're doing with AJ right now. But one thing's for certain, they're not going to let him go. I mean, yes, they've released a lot of the other talents that everybody pretty much figured would be established with them. They've released Low-Key. He went to WWE, tried to be Cabal, did not work, came back. There you go. The same with Kazarian. They let him go. He went to WWE, tried to get a big push there, was on the verge of probably getting one, except he didn't want to do one thing WWE was wanting him to do, cut his hair. And what's he do in TNA? Cut his hair. But anyway. So, and Daniels as well, they let him go for a while. He went to Japan, Ring of Honor, then came back. Same with Gail Kim. Saying, I mean, the list just goes on, folks. The list just goes on. And pretty much, you have all these superstars and all these TNA superstars and knockouts that have come and gone and have returned, and AJ's the only one that's remained. So, do I eventually think AJ's going to be the final nail in the coffin, if you will, of TNA Originals jumping ship to WWE? Yeah, down the line I do, but I don't see it happening for another few, maybe, I'd have to say the latest, maybe another 4 or 5 years at the most. But I do see it happening. I think what's going to happen is AJ is going to get one last run or two as TNA champion, and then he's going to probably let his contract expire and then jump ship to WWE. I just feel it. And I think what's happening is AJ, I think he's smart enough to realize that, hey, yeah, I want to probably jump to WWE, but I want to jump to the point that I'm not put, in NXT, that I'm not put in a position that has me go down to NXT, has me become something I'm not, and then finally get called up to the main roster. No. AJ, in my opinion, I believe he wants to go, but I think he's playing it smart. He's playing it smart to the point that he wants to get signed, but he wants to be signed to the point that WWE is going to probably say, you know what, we don't need to send this guy to NXT, let's just bring him on up. Let's bring him on up. That's what I feel is going to happen. It's just an opinion, folks, but that's what I feel is going to happen. But do I see him jumping right now? No, I probably see it in the next 5 years, perhaps, but that's about it. As far as my question to you guys previously, my first question to you guys about the Dan Gable, who being inducted situation, I know and understand, Jeff Siegel, Shrek Daddy, where you're coming from. I do. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if it happens. And if is always a big if, because you never know, because you never can tell if something is going to happen. I mean, if you take a look at a lot of sports Hall of Fame, there's a lot of people in many Hall of Fame categories, many Hall of Fame genois, if you will, that have been inducted, and a lot of people say this person did not need to be inducted into that Hall of Fame. You take a look at WWE. They have a celebrity wing, right? And there's some people that are deserving to be in that celebrity wing, but one year they put somebody in there that everybody felt did not need to go into that Hall of Fame, and that was Drew Carey. And all Drew Carey did was one official appearance at the Royal Rumble, and that was it. Yeah, he participated in the Rumble match, but But that was it. There was nothing else. And I admit, that was about a poor choice, but I guess they were desperate. I don't know. But again, there were several other people in different Hall of Fames that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame classes, into the Hall of Fames, that many, you would agree, have said do not deserve to be there. I mean, I'm sure you being a sports enthusiast, Jeff, you would agree that there's many people in MLB, in the MLB Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame, NBA Hall of Fame, that have gotten in there and they don't deserve to be there. Even the NHL Hall of Fame have gotten in there, they don't deserve to be there. But yet they're there. So what I'm saying is, even though it is a big if of who getting into the Dan Gable one, don't be surprised if down the line who gets into other Hall of Fame classes, into other Hall of Fames. Remember, you got a Hall of Fame in Philadelphia. You got a Hall of Fame in St. Louis. You got a Hall of Fame right here in the state of California. You got a Hall of Fame nationally known in New York. So don't be surprised if any one of those says, you know what, we want to induct who because he founded TNA, because he was a multi-time champion, blah, blah, blah. And by doing so, that's going to cause a chain reaction, Jeff. Whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not, and I know you don't like it, and I respect your opinion on it, But it's going to cause a chain reaction to where if one does it, others will do it, and eventually it's going to lead to you guys. It's going to lead to your Hall of Fame. And again, you may not like it, and you probably won't like it, and you're definitely not going to like it. But if the day comes that any one of those Hall of Fame venues, Hall of Fame places decide, hey, we want to induct you-know-who into our Hall of Fame because of what he's done, because what if he's accomplished, then again, it's going to cause a chain reaction. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, and I pray to God for your sanity, Jeff, that it doesn't happen, but again, it's a big if. And what you need to do, and I'm sure you do, is you need to pay attention to all these other Hall of Fame venues, and if news gets out that one of them is saying, hey, we're going to induct you-know-who into our Hall of Fame, it's, again, to me, in my personal opinion, it's going to cause a chain reaction. And my honest opinion to you, Jeff, I know how you feel about you-know-who. What you need to do, and I'm sure you're thinking about this, should that day come, start a petition. Start a sign-up sheet. Do something that makes sure your hometown's Hall of Fame does not induct you-know-who whatsoever, or does not award you-know-who whatsoever. Because like I said, it's going to cause a chain reaction should one of them decide to do it. Now, again, I pray to God, I hope to God, for your sanity, it does not happen. Because if it does, being a fan of OTRS as long as I have, Jeff, I know by watching how you feel about this person that you will never step foot in that Dan Gable Museum again if that day ever comes. So, again, thank you guys for answering my questions. Keep up the great work. OTRS for life. You know, you guys should put that on a t-shirt because that would definitely sell. And God bless to you guys. Take care. And keep up the good work. Again, I have another Q&A question coming for you. Check that out when you can, when you guys get the time. But thank you, and God bless. Take care of yourselves, and peace out. But this is just my response to you guys in your Q&A questions of video 9 and possibly 10. Peace out.